Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? It's Sunday. I normally take Sunday off from making content, but I woke up to some stunning revelations today. Nigel Farage was on the Winston Marshall show, and he made a staggering revelation.
Southport, all I can say to you right now is I know a hell of a lot more than the British public know. A hell of a lot more. I've been completely silenced. I dared, the day after Southport, to do a video to say, can we please know who this man is? Was he known to the authorities? Why do I feel we're not being told the truth? The level of demonisation I came under for that from both front benches was astonishing. From media commentators, demonisation on a level that I'd never even experienced. Now I'm told by the Speaker of the House of Commons, I can't ask questions about it in the House of Commons. Parliamentary privilege is out of the window. Even rumours today that the court case, which is due in January, every effort is being made to defer it. Right? Yeah, this is what's going on. We are witnessing one of the biggest cover-ups we've ever seen in our lives. And I won't say any more than that. I genuinely would never wish to be in contempt of court. I have respect for our legal system. It's not perfect, but it's a damn sight better than most of the rest of the world.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out what's going on. And you know, because he mentioned Southport, I mean, we know there's only one thing that could be going on, right? It's not going to be a scandal about the Southport bins not getting emptied or a Southport councillor rogering Angela Rayner because half the city's probably had a ride on the town bike. No, it's not going to be any of that, is it? It's going to be about something that's quite important. And the other reason why the Bootneck has to cover it, ladies and gentlemen, we can also let Winston Marshall explain this one. Vizgrad24 said the Grammy winner and former lead guitarist Winston Marshall reveals to Americans the people are being imprisoned in the UK and EU for politically incorrect social media posts.
A week ago, my lawyer back home called me up and said 2 of your tweets are technically illegal. You could be arrested when you return. That's not a joke. They've been clearing out the prisons to put in people now for literally Facebook memes. There's someone in prison right now. They cleared out the prisons, by the way, and actual offenders, criminal, violent offenders. One person reoffended the day he left. There's one guy in prison for a Facebook meme for 3 months. There's one woman who's doing 2.5 years for a tweet. Right? The free speech is in utter peril. It's a disgrace. It's not just England, it's the whole of Europe. It's unbelievably concerning.
Yeah, you can see he's visibly upset, can't you? Because he knows that his country has been hollowed out by the worst type of degenerate lowlifes. England is not a free country, and you can't say anything. However, the silver lining is this. The Bootneck is an asylum seeker, a refugee fleeing war-torn Middlesbrough, tired of stepping over the corpses and the dead babies outside Aldi on Linthorpe Road in the borough. He's now an expat in California, so he's allowed to talk about it. I'll cover all the rumours I've heard, safe in the knowledge that even Keir Starmer can't smash my back doors in California. God bless America. Right then, what's the rumour? Here it is. Took me about 3 minutes. I reckon there's a lot of people going to be getting the collars felt in England, however. But I can sum up quickly. For those of you that have been living under a rock, these 3 little girls were murdered, butchered like wild animals by an imported killer. A man known as Axel Rudu-Kanubu. I don't pronounce his name properly because he is beneath my notice. He is lower than a rattlesnake's genitals. He is an oxygen thief, a sloshing portaloo, whatever colourful synonym you wish to use. He ended the lives of innocent children who we should value above all others, and he was imported. He looks like that, a boss-eyed illiterate from a third world nation, and none of it would have happened if our leaders had the same attitude towards mass movement of peoples as 85% of the general public. Now we turn to the rumour mill. As I shared here, if it turns out to be true, I hope a few million people take a leaf out of the Frog's book and break the guillotines out. Because Prince Dracula here said, you mean the rumour that Comrade Starmlin was the lawyer of the killer's father in 2003? The same one who kept him in the UK despite him being wanted in Rwanda for crimes committed during the Civil War? I can say it out loud since I don't live in the UK. Well, that makes two of us, doesn't it? That makes two of us. And it does make you think, if it's not true, why is the civil service and the arms of the state, the long arms of the state, why are they stomping on people for trying to talk about it? Why is a sitting MP, Nigel Farage, being aggressively silenced by the state, and he's told people about it, and he's specifically mentioning Southport? As I said, it's not going to be a scandal about sewage disposal in Southport, is it? Nice meme from Sad from Salford there. Very apt. And Dan here put a thread up, so I can only pray that Dan is also in a foreign country, because if you're in the UK, you're not living somewhere free. The real story behind the Southport attacks and how Keir Starmer played a critical role in it. Here's why it's being suppressed all over the UK and why even MPs are scared to talk about it. Can I just pause the video just for a second? Let's just pause and just look at the faces of those three children, just so your blood can bubble a little bit, all right? If your rage boner starts to flop a little, remember those kids aren't here anymore, and remember that they'd be living happy, joyful lives if it wasn't for the likes of Keir Starmer and all of these lefty lawyers who've been importing millions and millions of angry men, despite the British public being aggressively set against it for at least 25 years. At least. It was noticed in the 90s, during Tony Blair's tenure, when he was importing everyone. It was noticed during the 90s that the single biggest concern for the British public was mass movement of peoples. So for 25 years, the general public has been dead set against it. And despite what you think, because you don't live in a free country, they've been importing walking risk. That's what it is, walking risk. Childless sociopaths like Merkel, because an alarming amount of them are childless. Funny old thing. Childless sociopaths have been importing millions of fighting age men when the publics of Europe were against it, because the publics of Europe are risk averse. Even if some of them are worthy of care and attendance, the general public goes, yeah, it's sad if we don't help this deserving case from Somalia. But you know what? I've got daughters, I've got sons, I've got grandchildren, I've got nieces and nephews, I've got people I worry about. So it is sad that there's going to be some deserving cases in there, but not as sad as if one of them gets a knife in the eyeball from a poorly vetted arsehole from the third world. So don't let any of them in. That's the simple mathematical equation that normal people have been doing for 25 years, and they've been ignored because your leaders are worthless. And they couldn't give a monkey's fart if your entire family gets butchered like wild dogs. That's the truth of it. And if you're not angry, you should be. All right? Stand easy completed. Let's continue. The man that wielded the knife, Axel Rudu Kanubu, on the 29th of July, did it in cold blood, and he injured a load more as well. Stirring public outcry was the catalyst behind the protest that took place. Who is he and why is he in the UK? His father is Alphonse Rudu Kanubu. He was known and tried by the International Criminal Court for participation in the Rwandan genocide of the 90s. The court case is linked below. And here we go. As you can see at the foot of this document, Mr. Starmer's name is on there. Readers have pointed out that this relates to a 42-year-old woman from Rwanda and has no connection with Mr. Rudu Kanubu, but we at least know that Starmer was involved with these people seeking asylum from Rwanda. So I think that's some good straws in the wind. If the state has been aggressively deleting documents and silencing people, do you not think he was doing that job in about that time? And that's enough for me to tell you about it. Maybe it isn't true, but maybe it is. And judging by what's happening to Nigel, it's fair to say it might be, don't you think? They're getting all Bourne identity on us. It's like a bad movie what the British government are doing. You know, where they're all mega secretive and they're all hiding files in safe and shooting people when they're trying to find out what's going on. That poor old Guardian journalist who takes one in the face because he's gets a little bit close to the truth. That's what this sounds like a corny spy thriller. Brilliant. Alphonse is wanted in connection with the crimes committed here. Oh, okay, only some mass killings and forced participation, enormous death toll being around 800,000 Tutsi and Hutu civilians. I mean, only that. Why wouldn't you want him to come to England and, buy him a council house? Why wouldn't you? Who is the lawyer representing the war criminal? Well, it's none other than QC Keir Starmer, the man who represented Alphonse and got his extradition removed and ensured his status and asylum in the UK. Keir was in The Guardian publicly advocating for this, alongside benefits and support for the refugees, and this is the archive of it. Mr. Starmer said they were allowed no funds and no accommodation and no food. We have to look after a group which by definition is vulnerable. Yeah, this Rwandan didn't look vulnerable when he was stabbing kids in the eye, did he? Didn't look vulnerable then, you worthless sack of rats. Keir was involved in the legal case to guarantee his asylum, and this is why the UK government has completely suppressed the story and won't let anybody talk about it. They've had the police raiding people talking about it. The current PM was instrumental in ensuring the killer's father was given asylum, and the blood of all of those girls is on his hands. There we go. That's the rumour. That's the rumour. I guess I have to say, what is it everyone does? Allegedly. The last 10 minutes, allegedly. Except the bit about Rage Boner. That is definitely factually accurate, okay? It's due to kick off in the UK. And when all of this comes out, heads will roll. Preferably in the old French way, literally, yeah? Finally, someone can use the term literally correctly, okay? Doesn't happen very often in 2024, does it? Okay, that's the story. They're the rumours. I hope to God something comes of it. Starmer should be in jail. He let out a machete killer after 6 months to make room for little old women who said the wrong thing on the internet. I pray to God this does him in. And he spends the next 40 years in a cell with Randy Ron, the prolific, burly, homosexual sex offender. That's what I pray for. Let's hope it happens. Okay, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I need to go and do some yoga, I think. I'll watch some nice, relaxing, true crime documentaries about serial killers. That'll calm me down. Yeah, great. Anyway, have a good one. See you soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.